Hello everyone, my name is Hendra. I'm the CEO of OneConnect Financial Technology Indonesia. I'm previously working at the Ping An Group, and from Ping An for last 3 years before joining OneConnect. Actually, I have learned a lot of experience from Ping An, how it has successfully penetrated and do the financial inclusion in China. So today, I would like to share with you some of the experience learned for the financial inclusion in China market, and would like to share with you the lesson learned so that we can see what we can do and help to do the better financial inclusion in the Indonesia market. So let me start with the market situation. So as we know that in Indonesia, from the statistics that we see from OJK, actually there are 64 million micro SME in Indonesia market. So out of this 64 million, actually there are only 25%, which is 16 million, has been served by the bank. So this is the segment. 25% of the micro SME has been served by the financial institution, especially bank. There are still 75% of the micro SME. Actually, is a huge amount. It's a 48 million of the micro SME has not been served by the bank. There are various reasons for this. Of course, as we know that the traditional practice always require the collateral from the micro SME. And in most cases, actually, the micro SME don't have the collateral to be placed to the bank. And now we are in the COVID-19 era where the whole world economy actually already go into the deep recession. And we can see that the recovery really depending on how fast the economy can continue come back to the pre-COVID-19 era. But the importance of this is, first of all, how to make sure that how can we help the micro SME to survive first. That's very important. And as to help them to survive, actually financing is one of the key factors, because financing is kind of like giving a blood donor to the micro SME so that they can survive and go through the hard time, and then that will create a huge job market in Indonesia. As we know that the micro SME actually account for majority of the job creation for the labor force in Indonesia. So out of this 75% micro SME, actually the financing gap based on the statistic from OJK in 2019, actually the financing gap is still 40 billion US dollar, which is a huge amount. So 40 billion US dollar is still a financing gap for the micro SME segment, and we believe that this number will continue to grow if the financing gap is not closed using a certain method or using technology or certain platform to help them to get appropriate financing. Okay, so that is the market situation. Another slides that I would like to make reference from China market is, we can see the slides here on page 3. Basically all the big banks is giving financing on the circle or on the bubble that is on the left top corner. So it's 1.5 trillion US dollar in China. This is the segment that is funded by the bank. And the low end, the right lower end corner is the financing from the peers-to-peers and small loan company. And also including the internet lending company is the one small bubble in the middle. That is two segments that actively doing lending to the micro SME. But the problem with that is actually these two segments is more closer to the consumer financing. So this is more consumer loan or more well known as a cash loan, which is the consumer loan, multi-function loan for the consumption or individual purpose. Although they call it for micro SME, but it's more small ticket loan for the individual. So You can see that the circle in the middle, actually this is where the financing gaps are. This is very, very important. So because if we don't find a way to close this gap, actually even if we have 140 peer-to-peers in Indonesia, I don't think that we are able to close the financing gap and reach the actual target micro SME who needs the loan. So it's going to be a very, very consumer loan-oriented unsecured loan. So we need to find a way to target the circle in the middle. And this is actually the circle where the micro SME are on the productive loan, and it's really directing to the job creation from the micro SME. So in China, in Ping An, actually we have a subsidiary called Ping An Puhui. Actually, it has been successfully to build a portfolio of 44 billion US dollar and financing to 8 million micro SME effectively in this particular circle in a very, very sustainable way. So we are not talking about interest rate even 30%. So we are talking about average of 20%, 25%. So it's a very similar to the productive loan, but it's unsecured. So it's very different compared to the peer-to-peer loan. Like in Indonesia, we know that the cap is 288%. So it's very different. Okay. So there are few lessons learned from China financial inclusion. The first one is very important to mention that the financial inclusion can only be achieved by building an appropriate ecosystem. Actually, it's not about the IT system. It's not about the bank by itself can do the financial inclusion, but it's more about building a certain ecosystem to allow the financial inclusion to happen. It's very, very important. So in order to build this particular ecosystem, the support from government is very important as well. The government should be able to support the financial industry, to support the micro SME by building a platform that giving more and more information about the micro SME so that the bank or the financial institutions are able to do the risk assessment appropriately. I give you an example. For example, from ministries of finance, there is access to the tax income, there is a property registry, there is a motor vehicle registry, there is a BPJS in Indonesia to look at the social medical insurance, there is a tax account, Dukcapil for ID checking, credit bureau from the industry survey, electricity usage, telecom usage, etc. So there are a lot of data that are owned by government or the huge state-owned enterprises that need to be consolidated to give a good micro SME profiling for risk assessment purpose. This is the support that is very necessary to build this ecosystem. The third point is actually government subsidy. Government subsidy, if it is directed by the government banks or some other banks to the micro SME by itself, actually, as we know, the current practice, the processing time is very lengthy. So by the support of more information from various government bodies, actually the government subsidy program, whether there's KUR, or other subsidy such as the interest subsidy for the COVID-19 stimulus program. So all of this actually can be more effective to be distributed through the centralized platform owned by the government, which have a very, very transparent risk assessment and information about the micro SME. And then the banks will feel more confident to provide the financing. The number 4 actually is very important as well. The government should have a program to improve the credit culture. For example, like in China, actually there is a national blacklisting program so that people are really not paying back the loan because they are not able to pay back the loan. It's not about the willingness to pay back the loan because there is a program to promote the credit culture. For example, there is a national blacklisting. If you still have overdue loan, there's no way you can buy a flight ticket. You cannot buy the speed train ticket in China if you are in the blacklist. After you pay back your loan and then you are out from the blacklist, then you can buy the flight ticket. Otherwise, you need to take bus. That's one example. Another important aspect of the financial inclusion is availability of the credit guarantee insurance, because a lot of banks have a very low risk appetite, but they have the third-party fund. In order to flow the third-party fund to the market, there are some lenders actually have higher risk appetite to run this business, so that they can do the intermediaries to do the financial inclusion. However, they are lacking of a source of fund. So the source of fund may come from a bank who have a lower risk appetite. But here, the insurance, credit guarantee insurance can come in to support and do the risk diversification from the low risk appetite bank to the higher risk appetite lenders, so that some credit protection will be provided. And another lesson learned to make the financial inclusion more effective, actually, it needs to have a tone from the top, support from the various ministries, from the government, to run this as a program instead of running on silo. Like, for example, like a Ministry of a State-owned Enterprise may have a program, Ministry of Cooperative and Micro SME may have a program, Ministry of Finance may have a program. So if everyone is running on silo, I think the effectiveness may not be as good as if there is a centralized platform from the government to support all these financial inclusion programs. And the last point that's very important, peer-to-peer in Indonesia, they have been a lot, 140, but the interest is still very high. But from the experience in China, during the peak time, there are 5,000 peer-to-peer companies in China, but now it's less than 10. So we can see, actually, we don't want to formalize the loan shark. What we want is to really do the financial inclusion in a more sustainable way, to do the financing to the micro SME, to support them to be more productive and grow. Okay, so these are the 7 points that the lesson learned that we have from China. In order to do that, actually what needs to be built? In the next slides, we can see there is a SME financial services platform. We have tried this in the Guangdong province in China. Actually, 2 months after launch, we already gotten 10 million micro SME registered to the platform, with more than 100 banks participating into the platform and providing more than 200 financial products. And there is a smart matching engine mechanism to match the profile of the micro SME to the suitable loans provided by the financial institution. So this is a very important platform, for example, to do the financial inclusion. I do believe that in Indonesia, we do need one. Now is a matter of who is going to take lead and build this platform. Of course, from OneConnect financial technology perspective, we have the experience to build this platform. And we already do the pilot run in the Guangdong province, and it's proven working very, very well. So this is one aspect. And what is the key advantage of this particular platform? First of all, it can accommodate a lot of diversified products. So a lot of different loan products that the micro SME needs actually can be provided here by participations of multiple lending institution or financial institution. The second important part is a high security, because a lot of information is available in this platform. This platform actually is owned by the government. Actually, it must have a high cyber security. So we use the blockchain technology to do this platform. And the precision of the information, we already gathered more than 3,000 data tables with 60,000 data fields in this platform. And this will allow the financial institution to have a good micro SME profile to do the risk assessment. And the last aspect that is very important is the fast financing. So basically, the financial institution, what they need to do is link up with this platform and do their new business line to do the financing to all these micro SME. And the last point is also very important for the government as well as regulator, because it's a centralized platform. then there is a centralized regulatory oversight on the platform. So this is what I would like to share with you today. So this topic, I hope, is very, very timely during the COVID-19 situation, where we need to be more and more effective to do the financial inclusion to support the micro SME so that the economy can recover and grow faster, and use this momentum to really bridge the financial inclusion to the micro SME who are the backbones of the economy, especially developing countries like Indonesia. I hope this sharing will help everyone. If you are interested to find out more information about this platform, please feel free to contact us in OneConnect Financial Technology Indonesia. Thank you.